Hey, welcome back. I'm glad to see you are here, and I'm ready to knock out the next part of making our junk journal. So my spine is good and dry, and it buckles a little bit, but it's okay. It's okay because you're not going to see this part, and it's not going to hinder the strength of the spine, so we're good. Okay, so the first thing we'll want to do is try to figure out what we're going to do with the front cover. So I would deeply express not to make this a big deal. I remember the first journal I did was terrible. It wasn't well thought out, and it was an experiment. So it didn't turn out wonderfully. So don't expect your first one to turn out wonderfully, because chances are it won't. Just have fun with it. Try not to overthink it. This series is to get you through the steps of making a journal and get you through to the other side so you've accomplished a journal, and then you can go back and do more journals. So don't fret about the cover and what to put on it. Let's just do this, make quick decisions, and get on with it, okay? So I have pulled out a bunch of lace because I like to put lace on my spines. So I'm going to kind of experiment here. So I kind of like the burlap look. A lot of my journals, I would place burlap on the edges like this. And then on the inside, I would make maybe something like this overlap, which I think is pretty. Not too crazy, not too exciting, but it's effective and pretty, and it gets the job done. So we got that option. We could go with this option. We could layer these burlaps on there, put another piece of this on this side. For my taste, that's a little bit too much burlap. So we could also do maybe a lace on either side and lace and burlap in the middle. We could do maybe something a little out of my comfort zone, which is this sparkly, gaudy gold stuff, which I think I've only used on like Christmas journals. So, but you know, it's not terrible, especially if you tone it down with, let's say, you know, a nice piece of lace. So what I am going to do is, there's also like this option. I think this was the one I was going to go with. I think I was going to go with this. And this one, was it? And this blue on either side. This is, you probably can't tell, but this is a really light baby blue. And now that I see it together on the spine, I don't really like it that much. So let me experiment just a little bit more. Nope. I think I'm gonna go with, I just love this burlap stuff. I like how rugged it is, yet how when it's paired with this lace, it's just so beautiful. So I think I'm gonna go that way. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my pinking shears. And I think this had, yeah, a little hole in it. So I'm gonna cut this off right here. And I'm not going to precisely measure this. I'm just gonna eyeball it. Nothing needs to be precise in this world. And then I'm gonna cut 2 pieces of this. This kind of has like a wire in it, so I'll cut 2 pieces of this, like that, and we're done. So this is what it's gonna look like. We're gonna have a piece here, a piece here. I think I'm gonna overlap it a little bit like that. That's what's nice about these wire ones. You can kind of shape them as you go. Wrap that one around. And then this beautiful lace in the center. Yeah. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna start gluing down. I'm just gonna go for it. All right, so I'm gonna get my 3-in-1 craft glue here and put a bunch of glue down. All right, and I'm gonna work, you know, relatively quickly because I don't want it to dry up on me and be wasteful. But I'm gonna pay attention to the edge here, make it relatively straight. I can always come back, shoot some glue underneath and make it, the edges a little bit better, but I'm gonna be roughly making it where I want the edge of my lace to be. And then if I go over, I can always come back and kind of scratch the glue off that I don't want there, or just let it dry. Let it dry and you'll have a little shiny glue spot there, but I don't care sometimes. So I need just a little bit more. You gotta work it into these kind of little divots here where it's gonna be folding. Because we want everything to stick real good. Do up here a little bit more, down here a little bit more, and I think we're good. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to glue it right like that. And that is my front cover. And then this is going to be my back cover. Okay, and now I want to put this down. If you get the glue called Fabri-Tac, you can use it. I think it's the same glue, to be honest with you. I don't think there's much difference at all. So I just buy this. I don't need to spend a fortune on glue. Certainly not when one does the trick for pretty much all of it. Okay, so then I'm going to take my burnisher kind of here and I just work it in where I feel like it needs to be worked in a little bit. Kind of use my hands. Careful not to glue my hands to the book. This is kind of weird. It's kind of coming up a little bit, so let's do that. Okay. Yeah, the only downfall is, look at that gunk that's on my finger. Ew. It's like a really sticky piece of plastic or tape or glue. All right, so get that off there. Alright, so when this dries completely, I'll be working on the insides. But for right now, I'm going to just smoosh it down and let it dry. Oh, I think I'll get some of these while it's still relatively wet off the cover. And this is why I label my pages front and back. And so when I'm working on it, I don't get it all turned around and confused as to which is the front and the back, because I've definitely done that before. So there you go. The cover, well, the spine at least, is pretty much done. Okay, so now I'm going to start with building the journal, the name of the journal. It's called a nameplate, and most of my journals have a nameplate on them. That's a nameplate. So what I'm gonna do is kind of build up a little bit of a collage-y kind of thing to name my journal. Now, I haven't thought of what I want to name my journal, but the thing with these nameplates is I can come back and add the name that I want to add to it, because these nameplates, you can just slip the name right in. Even if you put one like behind it, I could, like, instead of having it just say journal, later on I can come in and say, oh, I want to name it Our Baby, and we can slip it right in there, you know, cut it to size, slip it right in there, and voila, it's named what you want it to be named. So that's why I use these nameplates. And plus it gives it a little more of a finished look. So I'm just putting these in the hole so I don't lose the brads for the nameplate. Okay, but how I'm going to do this is I'm going to use a decorative sheet and probably some of this text from this cat book I have. And probably maybe yes or no, and or some of this music sheet. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Sometimes you can't get too many layers in. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna start with I think I'm gonna start with this. I kind of like this paragraph right here. So it's gonna be something that needs to be about this size. I'm just gonna start ripping it up. Not really caring what it looks like, but trying to get it to the height and the width that I want it to be. So let's do that. Maybe just a little bit thinner. Now you can always use a tearing ruler, which I have one. It's right here. Am I using it? No. I don't ever use it, but I have it. I guess I could have used it, but if you have one, use it. If you don't have one, don't worry about it. Just do what you want to do. Okay, so we're going to do that. And then I think I'm going to take some of this and start doing the same thing. So when I'm tearing, you'll notice the paper, you can see the white edge. I'm going to come back and ink those edges. So I kind of want the white to show, because when I come back and ink, I want it to be inking the white part. So yeah. Am I worried about this? Nope. I'm just doing what feels right. I don't like a lot of hard edges, so that looks about right. Now let's see, will that fit on there? It will. Okay, but I think I need a little bit of contrast between this paper and this paper. So what do I have that I could use for that? I could go with just another cream color, but I think I'm gonna try to find something that color, or that color. I'll be right back. Okay, so I found this. It was in my going to be a tag someday box, and I think I might use this. So let's see what happens. I want just enough to show so we get like a little taste of it. But yeah, something like that. It can even be like off center. It doesn't have to be perfect. This doesn't have to be so perfect, except I do want it to be more like this. So you're not like trying to read stuff. So maybe something like that. Yeah, I like it. All right, and then I'm going to put So I have a bunch of these typed out and typed up and printed out. Our baby, journal, grateful, memories. I think I'm gonna use a memory one and cut it so it fits behind here. And then I'm gonna glue it down to here. So that will be where I can stick another title to this journal in it if I want to. If I don't, then I'll just have it to say memories. So let's do that. I gotta find my pencil. All right. Let's just cut this out real quick. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to bring my Distress Oxide vintage photo by Ranger. I guess that's a Jim Holtz thing. And I'm just gonna start inking pages or edges. Making it look good. So, as an artist, you kind of have a style. My style, I guess I have a style, but I kind of like, I would say an eclectic style. Like, I don't mind if things even kind of clash. Some people would hate these little peaky things in here, which I guess I kind of do. I don't know. But I guess mine is more, I like function. If things are functional and they don't look absolutely perfect, I'm okay with that. So here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue all this down. Hey, Bert. My kitty's name is Bert, and he's in here talking to me, probably wanting on my desk. But he's just gonna have, yeah, you're just gonna have to wait, baby. He said, why? I said, because I'm doing a video. Yeah, I know. If you keep watching my videos, I'm sure you're gonna see Bert. He is a very sweet orange and white boy. I just do not have time to show you him right now. All right, I'm not gonna ink this one because it's gonna be behind that that metal piece. Hi, buddy. Okay. All right, I'll be back. Okay, Bert is gone. So I think when I start talking, he thinks I'm talking to him, which I should be, right? That's what all kitties want. Okay, so I'm going to take these out now. because I'm going to poke the holes and put the brads in. So this is a well-worn piece of styrofoam, but we'll put that on here. Put this right like this, and the only awl I could find is this big one. That'll work though. I'm just gonna punch the holes here. Is that centered? It's not. Okay, so there we go. Since all my stuff is kind of jinky, I like to have things at least kind of like straight and centered, so it totally doesn't mess with people when they look at it, like myself. All right, so that's going to be right there. This one's going to be right here. Just gonna close up these brads. Get that totally backwards. That's all right. All right, so now if I want a new thing in there, I can just stick it right in and glue it in. But for now, it's called Memories. So now I'm going to stick this on with some glue. Get the edges nice and gluey. Don't leave any gaps, so there's no chance of it coming up or off the page, or you get another piece of paper stuck under there. All right, let's put it right there. Good enough. What do we got going on here? Hang on. Got a big lump right there. All right. All right. Are we straight? No, we're not. All right, so there, better. All right, so the very last thing I'm going to do is I am going to, even though I'm not done with the cover, because I'll probably add maybe an image back here, I was thinking maybe cutting this guy out, putting it on the back, or this one's rather funny. I love this guy. Like, but he's way too big, so he can't do that. But anyway, I'm gonna add something on the back here and something on the front here, probably, maybe. But even though I'm not done with it, I am going to ink the edges. Get my old antique, oh wait, what's it called? Vintage photo going on here. because I want it to start looking a little grungy, not so new. Because that's what I like. I don't want to have to worry about, you know, fingerprints or getting stuff on it. I want it to look well loved. I'm going to do the same to the back. And that is how I'm going to leave the cover for now. All right, I will see you in the next video.